There is an adage which says, a town is only as great as its people, its places, and its experiences. This adage resonates perfectly with Chitungwiza Town. Chitungwiza is the third largest town in terms of population size and one of the fastest growing urban centers in Zimbabwe. Located 26.8 kilometers from Harare, the capital city of Zimbabwe, and with an estimated population size of 1 million people. This demand means that Chitungwiza municipality faces a daunting task of making sure it delivers on health, housing, provision of potable water, sanitation services, sewer reticulation, road infrastructure, public lighting, liquid waste management, among other deliverables in its mandate as promulgated in the Urban Councils Act. Chitungwiza municipality has an array of challenges, from provision of clean potable water to its growing populace and waste management. This video presentation seeks to therefore illustrate the existing challenges and the proposed mitigatory plans. Chitungwiza Acting Town Clerk, Engineer David Numa, and his management team came up with a plan on how to arrest the perennial water problem in Chitungwiza. Currently, Chitungwiza draws its water from Harare, and this is not adequate to meet the water demand for the growing Chitungwiza population. Hence, Chitungwiza municipality identified Muda Dam as the proposed dam site for the construction of Muda Dam. Muda Dam was selected for its proximity to Chitungwiza, which is 40 kilometers southwest of Chitungwiza. Muda Dam was preferred to Manyami Dam because of its water, which is not polluted, thus its water density. Acting Town Clerk, Engineer David Numa, Financial Director, Evangelista Machona, and Chitungwiza Mayor, Councillor Love Momaiko, all take turns to shed more light on the proposed Muda Dam project. However, all concur that the first step is to carry out a feasibility study at proposed dam site.
I am with Acting Town Clerk Engineer Duma at the site of the proposed dam construction for drawing water for Chitungwiza residents. Acting Town Clerk, tell us more about this particular project.
Okay. With Muda Dam, we intend to supply our residents and the surrounding areas in Harare South, Epworth, possibly up to 1.2 million people with water on a daily basis. The attraction about Muda Dam site is that it is an odd 38 kilometers from Chitungwiza, as the crow crows. Also, the additional benefit is that water at this site is not as polluted as elsewhere. We anticipate, as was recently demanded of local authorities by the Minister of Local Government, that we will not need more than 2 chemicals to treat this water. And then, in addition to that, it's a new clean scheme that will be supplying to Chitungwiza, and hopefully in the future feeding into the Harare Water Company, Harare Metropolitan Water Company. So it will be a good site for us.
The feasibility study has to come before we even going to invest.
All right.
So we're looking for funding for the feasibility study elsewhere.
Hopefully beginning of next year, 2020, I think the process will have completed and to start the feasibility study. Chitungwiza submitted a concept paper to the Ministry of Finance so that it be considered for funding of the feasibility study, which we are requiring an amount of 4.5 million, that's RTGS, to have the feasibility study done.
As we are well aware, Chitungwiza is the third largest population or the third largest urban settlement in the country with close to 500,000 people. But the current crisis or the current challenge that we faced, which is the major one, is that we do not have our own source of water. We rely on Harare, and which Harare is failing to satisfy its own client base in Harare. So what we have been getting, it's like is a drop in the ocean. So because this has actually led to situations where we have our people like resorting to unprotected sources of water, which would definitely lead us to such a situation where we would definitely have people getting those medieval diseases. So to respond to that, what we have done as a local authority, we would like to also thank our government for the support through the devolution fund. They actually gave us 6.3 million, which will go towards the drilling or the sinking of boreholes, which is a short-term measure. It's a temporary panacea. So, but the long and short of it is to have our Muda Dam being constructed, because it is the permanent solution to the water crisis of Chitungwiza.
Access to clean water is a necessity for any community the world over. Chitungwiza municipality requires in excess of $320 million to see this project take off.
Okay, we have a ballpark figure for the entire water and sanitation project of 320 million. This 320 million will cover the dam, the pipeline from the dam, the treatment plant, and then rehabilitation of the reticulation system of both the water supply and the sewer reticulation system.
Asked how potential investors would recoup their money, Engineer Duma had an exciting offer to would-be investors.
Okay, we are looking at a model where we give them a concession period, where they would operate the infrastructure and recover their costs. We're looking at smart technology, smart meters, where you prepay for your water, like we prepay for electricity or the phones or bread, so that the investor is assured of their money up front.
We intend to have a partnership where we consider a build, operate, and transfer. Whilst operating, we will install prepaid meters. It's very easy for our partner to recoup their investment through the prepaid meters, because as residents will be buying their water, they will also be paying through the funding of that.
Along the pipe route, would have drop points for the communities that are there, and possibly for irrigation as well. Then downstream of the dam, there's a possibility of a small hydroelectric plant.
The Chitungwiza industrial sites provides the most exciting infrastructure and also provides jobs for Chitungwiza residents and residents from other areas. According to the acting town clerk, companies are closing down because there is no water, so once Muda Dam becomes operational, the industry will naturally resuscitate.
Companies are closing down because there's no water. And once we deliver water, they should then be able to operate.
As they say, money cannot substitute planning. Chitungwiza municipality does not intend to go blindly into this project. It has also planned on how to deal with waste water management in case the Muda Dam project comes to fruition. Usually, wastewater will be tied to the water supply, and it is interesting how Chitungwiza municipality intends to deal with this.
The wastewater management will be tied into the water supply. The more the water you have, obviously, the more the water you have for the wastewater component. And there's a tariff that we charge on each household. It will then also contribute towards the recovery of the costs of the dam.
Okay.
Acting town clerk confirms that Chitungwiza municipality is in violation of the Zimbabwean constitution and as far as sanitation is concerned. However, the municipality is already working towards a plan of action to arrest this problem.
With sanitation, there is also the environmental responsibility. And with our collapse system, we are in total violation of the Constitution. We are hoping that once we get funding, we should be able to sanitize the city, clean it up, so to speak, and increase our collection rates for sewage, collection and delivery towards at the treatment plant.
One of the biggest challenges for any municipality across the world is waste management. Chitungwiza municipality is no exception. It is exciting to note that the powers that be at the municipality are also looking for strategic business partners to find ways of working towards waste recycling, turning waste into money and energy, in case you didn't know. Oh yes, waste can be turned into money and energy.
We're looking at possible investors, because with your solid waste, the most common method is to convert it to energy and fertilizers. So we're looking for investors that can generate electricity from solid waste. But the starting point is collection. The solid waste needs to be collected, to be taken to a landfill site. That is an upgraded dump site.
We visited Chitungwiza Unit G and Unit B, where there is an area which is earmarked for urban renewal. The plan is to build high-rise buildings which can accommodate a sizable number of households. This venture sounds very interesting and also is within reach in as far as investors are concerned, because it requires $20 million US.
Okay, with urban renewal, we've got high-density flats at Unit G that we think can be converted to high-rise, high-density flats at a profit to the investor. They'll be allowed to recoup their money through rentals. We're looking at 5 structures at Unit G, and each structure can possibly carry 500 to 600 people. If it's residential, we've got space at Unit B, where we can, I think, accommodate 3 or 4 other high-rise buildings.
Municipal beer halls used to be abuzz with revelers who would frequent the beer halls to enjoy themselves. But today, it is a different story, as most of these establishments have turned into white elephants, and Chitungwiza municipality plans to partner willing investors to revamp these beer halls to modern establishments. The investor would once again be able to recoup their investment.
Beer halls are a relic of the colonial era, and with the fast-moving changes, most of them are not functional. They are not serving the purpose they were built for. We are looking at bringing in investors either to rent the space, to revamp the beer halls into more modern things.
The absence of proper lighting at night breeds thugs, thieves, and all agents which thrive in darkness. Crime is easy to commit in the dark than it is when there is adequate light. Driven by that consciousness, Chitungwiza municipality embarked on a street lighting pilot project where we saw the installation of few street lights with billboard advertising. The strategic partner would recoup their money through collection of revenue from the same streetlight billboard advertisements. But this noble and promising project was a stillbirth, at least up to now. But, as Engineer Duma would explain, it is apparent that the solar and billboard project is earmarked for resuscitation with either the company which executed the pilot project, if it is still interested, or new players who may wish to partner Chitungwiza municipality. Engineer Duma further explains on this.
We had a pilot project at Makone. The one component of the contract was that you put up the infrastructure. And then the second part of the pilot project was the collection of fees from potential advertisers. Our contract is still valid with the contractor, and the intention is to pursue it to its logical end. We intend to cover the whole of Chitungwiza. With public lighting, risks at night, in areas that don't have tower lights, that do not have any coverage at the moment, it will reduce incidences of theft. It has so many benefits for residents. The investor would recoup their investment from advertising fees on the billboards. Your normal life expectancy for public lighting infrastructure ranges from 4 years to 15 years. So a possible contract will be running from the 4 years to 15 years unless there's a reinvestment in the infrastructure.
Sewer reticulation, another challenge that is at the apex of Chitungwiza municipality, and so far as finding a solution to it is concerned. As a municipality, Chitungwiza, through its various engagements with potential investors, also runs the risk of meeting not so serious investors who are ill-prepared, unsure about themselves. According to Acting Town Clerk Engineer Duma, they are looking at serious investors with solid proposals and financial standing so that the municipality does not run the risk of issuing people with permits to undeserving individuals. The sewer system and water must be taken by the investor as one, and the two cannot be taken separately.
We've been faced with a lot of speculators, and we want people with solid proposals and solid financials. We don't want to run the risk of giving somebody a permit only for them to resell it or remarket it to other people. We'd rather deal directly with investors. So they'll have solid proposals, solid financials before they even come to us. Because of the costs involved in the reticulation system, we will not consider people that investors that are not prepared to fund the reticulation system as well as the downstream infrastructure that is required to convert your sewer to fertilizers and electricity. While we are willing to upgrade our system, at the moment we don't have the capacity, the financial capacity to upgrade that system. So anyone looking at possible investment in converting your wastewater to fertilizers must be prepared to also look at the collection system. Off the head, we have a road network of about 464 kilometers. And our sewer system runs along the road network. So it's approximately there, 464 kilometers of mainly your 110 PVC pipes or 160 PVC pipes with plus or minus 16 kilometers of your 600 dia concrete pipes. Yes, with surface, everybody knows surface. Everyone that's been to Chitungwiza, they are enjoying enormous benefits of free advertising benefits by upkeeping their frontage. We want to encourage other investors that are already in town to follow the same route. You would, for instance, have a David corner there, and everybody knows you get free advertising, and it's invaluable. So they encourage other investors in town to adopt specific road infrastructure for upgrading and maintenance, and then they enjoy they brand those corners or those streets, and then they would reap the benefits in the advert value.
Chitungwiza is a land of opportunity. If you are a serious businessman with an eye for profit and growth, do not look further than Chitungwiza. In the words of the man who embodies the vision, mission, and the mandate of Chitungwiza municipality.
We welcome investors to Chitungwiza. There is plenty of opportunity for growth, and we are looking to share this journey with the right investors, with people that have our people in mind.